Hey folks, welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. I hope everyone's having a good day. Pouring with rain here. I'll take rain over snow every day of the week, twice on Sunday. Hence, the hair's wet. Been out doing the morning chores. I was thinking a little bit about boxing, of course, as one does. And especially in light of, I did a three-parter with Russ on Porky's Corner yesterday, and I found myself saying a number of times words like disappointed, underwhelming, etc., so forth. And I was thinking, if we were buying, whether it's a car or whether it's a cell phone or whether it's I was going to say a rifle, but not everybody buys rifles. Anyhow, if we were buying a product and the product had deteriorated over time, or we felt that the product was breaking, it's just not really fit for purpose, there would be a lot of reports, consumer reports, right, that you could go to and you could look at, you could comment. Anybody who's ever bought anything from Amazon, you can look and see what people have said about it, right? I bought a selfie stick, and even a selfie stick, there's people reporting on it. It's not long enough, it doesn't grip the phone properly, or it's too light or too heavy. There's consumer reports, there's feedback, there's reviews that we can all read, and then we can kind of make our purchasing decisions based on that, right? Well, it ought to be the same with a sporting product. And in the main, it possibly is. For example, if you are into hockey, then you'll have the NHL and you'll have then lower leagues. Baseball the same, football the same, and I guess in the UK, soccer's the same. You want to see, the Premiership or First Division, Second Division, Third Division, whatever. The product is going to vary based upon where the teams play in. Boxing is a little bit different. Obviously, we don't have leagues, but I have noticed that the overall quality of the product that me as a consumer is buying seems to have deteriorated. And yet we're being told that the product is the best ever and that boxing is booming, etc., so forth. Now, to be entirely fair, we have seen some marquee events put on really because of the Saudi engagement in boxing and the fact that they've been able to bring fighters together who probably would never have fought. Comes to mind, of course, Fury and Usyk, or if you prefer, Usyk and Fury. Those two fellows would probably never have met, but for the fact that Turki Al-Sheikh, backed by the Saudi government, was able to put a lot of money on the table to bring those fighters together. And that's great. But the regular events that we see, whether we're buying a streaming service like DAZN or whether you are buying tickets to go to an event, that product, I'm not sure if it's getting better, or if it's getting worse, or if it's just kind of not sort of fit for purpose. I noticed that this past weekend in particular, but we can go back, a few weekends, I suppose, that the product that we're buying seems to be marred by a few things that ought not to mar a product. One of the things that mars the product is poor refereeing and poor judging. Because as purchasers of the product, whether you are buying a streaming service or whether you are buying a ticket or whether you're just simply investing your time watching it on YouTube or somewhere else. There's a cost to this, right? And we see, for example, let's pick a Riyadh show, the Hamza Shiraz Carlos Adames show. The refereeing and the adjudication of the fight left a bad taste in everyone's mouth. It's like, that can't be a draw. Like, how is that a draw? It just didn't sit right. It was like if you buy a cell phone and one of the functions doesn't work. It's like, then this isn't really what I'm expecting to get. Ditto, of course, with the Dave Allen, Johnny Fisher show. Controversy, poor adjudication. I think most people outside of Johnny Fisher's immediate family and friends probably think that result was the wrong result. The fight itself was an entertaining fight, but the result was poor. Kind of like you've bought a truck and it drives fine, but when you got to pull something, its towing capacity isn't what it's rated at. It's like, oh, okay, it drives fine, it looks fine, but then it can't tow anything. The product isn't good. We see with Crocker and what's the other Irish fella's name? Doherty. Again, the refereeing, the fight was very entertaining, but the refereeing was poor. The ref was out of place at the end, and he wasn't able to interject himself when the bell went. Consequently, it led to a fellow being disqualified, and everybody sort of got a bit of a bad taste in their mouth because the refereeing was poor. So you're not just paying for the two guys who are fighting, you're paying as a consumer for quality reffing, quality adjudication. You should be able to leave an arena or walk away from your screen saying, my guy lost, but I can't complain about the reffing, I can't complain about the adjudication, and I can't complain about the fights. My guy lost, that's what you watch the game for, right? Moving forward to this past weekend, the average on this DAZN card that Frank Warren put on, the average rating according to BoxRec of everybody fighting was 369. So we're really watching not a premier level show. Now I know it wasn't pay-per-view, but if you're paying for a DAZN subscription, then you were paying. Average rating 369. Is that a premier show? An inaugural event on the world's premier streaming service? Yada, 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 yada. I mean, let's just look at Delicious Ori. An Olympian with a European medalist, Commonwealth medalist. Looks good. He's fought somebody called Milos Velitic with an upside down record. Okay, it's his debut. But Milos was rated 729 in the world. And Delicious Ori made hard work of it. Is that a product that you are wanting to buy? Were you in a pub in the UK watching this, and were you thinking, wow, this is great, this guy's gonna go places, look at this guy? Or were you saying, oh, fancy a game of darts, mate? It's just what the product wasn't good. And then, of course, we had the Adelaide and TKV fight. Now, Adelaide's 32 in the world, sort of maybe not quite where you want your British champion contender to be, but you can't really complain. TKV, 178th in the world. Was this really a British heavyweight championship worthy fight? I'll let you be the judge. I've got my own opinion. But the fight was then marred. The fight was sort of okay. Well, no, not really. It wasn't particularly entertaining. I think TKV was eventually going to do the better work, but it wasn't entertaining. And if you were entertained in the pub, well, good for you. But there have been more entertaining fights over the years. But then it was marred by that pest of a referee who never really got control of the fight, and at times didn't let a fight break out, and at times interfered. It's just a pest. It's like an old washerwoman floating around there, right? And then, of course, at the end, when he says break, break, and he pulls TKV's hand, and then Adelaide cracks TKV, we've got this massive controversy. So your product was broken. Think of it this way. You've paid to watch two fighters fight, and then some pest has interfered and affected the outcome in a negative way. It's like if you bought something from Amazon and the delivery driver drops it in your driveway and breaks it. That the product is broken. And I'm wondering, as fight fans, like, how much do we put up with this? You know, we're being told now that the next fight is going to be the greatest. This fight is the greatest. It doesn't matter which fight it is, right? Whether it's Wardley against Big Baby Miller, which I am actually looking forward to seeing, even though you could argue that Big Baby Miller shouldn't be allowed in a boxing ring due to his repeated PED use, or whether it's Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr., which people are talking about as being, you know, as though it was Ali Frazier. And with respect, some people I know are really into that fight. And good for you. But it's being marketed as though it's a product that it really and truly isn't. And I'm just wondering what you all, as people who are watching a YouTube boxing channel, what do you think? Do you think we're getting value for money out of this product we're buying? Or do you think we're being sold something that doesn't do what it says on the tin? Let me know in the comment section of this video. I'm really genuinely interested to know what you think. And whether or not you've got suggestions for improving it. You know, is the Dana White kind of thing something that could improve it? I honestly don't know. I mean, I shudder when I think of Dana White, to be perfectly honest. But I'm not seeing that the product that we're buying, outside of the occasional big show, which is hyped beyond all belief, and then it costs additional money, right? I'm not seeing that this product that we're watching is delivering for us the quality that we should be getting, whether it's low quality fighters. And I'm reluctant to blame fighters, to be honest, because they're doing something that most of us don't do. Or is it marred by poor reffing or poor judging, mismatching fighters, or marred by ridiculous amounts of BS? Do let me know what you think, because I'm genuinely interested in your feedback on this. Thanks for watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers. Bye-bye.